guys, thanks for clicking on the video today. My name is Maria and I am back with another video, y'all. And this is another makeup moment with me, Maria. And today, y'all, I just wanted to come on. I wanted to do a quick 7-step makeup tutorial for beginners. Because this is the new year, it's 2025, and I've seen a lot of people online and in my personal life talk about how they want to either start wearing makeup, they want to learn how to wear makeup, or they just want to kind of elevate their makeup game, just elevate what they're currently doing. And I feel like one of the most important things when it comes to wearing makeup is your base, getting that base down. And my last video, I talked about 7 products that you need to have in your makeup bag right now if you are a beginner in makeup. But I didn't talk about, well, y'all, that video was really long when I was filming that video because I was trying to tell you about the products, I was trying to make recommendations, and I was trying to apply the makeup, do all of that at the same time, doing too much. So that's why I'm making a separate video. So I was able to edit that video down and just give you the 7 essential products that you need to have in your makeup bag right now if you are going to start a makeup journey or if you're going to be elevating your makeup journey. So go back and watch that video. And then this video is going to be putting those 7 products to the test. I want to show you how you can get a flawless, natural, easy base. No matter where you're going, this is for work, this is for going to events, this may be for going out. It's for whatever you want it to be. And I'm also, y'all, I'm going to be sending this video to my friend. She's going to get a kick out of it because I have a friend, we live in separate states, but she is having a time getting her makeup right. I've tried to help her. Now, we are different shades. So one of her biggest problems is, how do I find my right shade? How do I find the right shade? And I really can't give any helpful advice on that, I don't think, because number one, I started wearing makeup during the pandemic. And during this time, we couldn't go into the stores. You couldn't go anywhere to have anybody help match you or, do anything like that. Nobody was getting their makeup done. So I started when you had to just rely on online. And that's how I did. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I found people who looked like me. I watched what they were wearing, took their recommendations. And then I also had just the base knowledge of my own skin tone from back in the day when I went to the MAC counter and they told me I was NW45, neutral warm 45. So that's what I know about my undertone. So when I look for a foundation, I look at the undertone, neutral or warm. And then I'm not so caught up with finding my perfect shade. I believe in finding the shade that works for me. Because once you add concealer, powders, and all of the things, it matters, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. Just find something that works for your skin and works for your undertone. Also, I used to watch Savannah Silver. She's a black lady living in Japan. And because she had such a hard time getting makeup products in Japan for her skin tone, she's had to really make things work. I watched her take a foundation shade that was a little bit too light for her. She made it work. I watched her take a foundation that was a little bit too dark for her. She made it work. So watching her kind of helped me to calm down when it comes to finding the perfect shade. So learn your undertone and just try to pick the best shade for you. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and just get into this tutorial. This is going to be kind of quick. I don't want to be doing a whole bunch of long videos in 2025, y'all. Happy New Year, everybody. So I've already done my skincare. I have it on. That is the most important thing you need to do before you start wearing makeup is get your skincare right. Now, in addition to my skincare, one of the main things I've done over the years to help up my makeup game is I've been dermaplaning. So what is dermaplaning? Dermaplaning, it's just basically shaving your face. You can go to a dermatologist or esthetician. I think that's how you say it, esthetician. And they just basically exfoliate your face using a scalpel or a razor. But it's so safe, it's easy, you can do it at home. And this is just getting that peach fuzz, those little fine hairs off of your skin, off of your face, dead skin cells. You'd be surprised what's on your face. And I started doing this years ago to really make my makeup look better, to make my face overall look better. As I said, I do this once a month. I've never filmed myself doing it because I always do it in the shower. But Mena Adube, she is a content creator here on YouTube. She's done videos showing how she exfoliates her face before she applies her makeup. There was another beauty content creator. She was a white lady. She was like in her 60s. And she was saying how dermaplaning or exfoliating her face makes her look younger. And she was a beautiful lady. But she says she did it every day. I don't know if it needs to be done every day, but I do it once a month. It just makes me feel so much better when I get that step out of the way. So now we're going to go in with our first step in our tutorial. And that is primer. Yes, as I said in my last video, the number one thing you need in your makeup bag is primer. And you need to put it on your face. So the first step is primer, and I'm going to be going in with my Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. This is in the shade 9. Now, you know the Blurring Balm Powder is a unique product, and the reason why I'm using this and the reason why I love it so much, this is a coverage boosting, texture reducing blurring balm that keeps oil and sweat out your face throughout the day. So if you're an oily skin person, you need this. But even if you're a dry skin person like myself, I have dry skin, this works wonderful on my skin because I have texture. I have raised moles on my face, and then I have texture right here in my cheeks. And when I use this as my primer, it just smooths out everything. So that's basically what it does. It smooths out everything. And then it has 2 key ingredients in here that makes your face look so good, is that it has Upsolite and it has Squalane. That Squalane, when I learned about Squalane, y'all, I felt like Squalane was a facelift in a bottle. The way it evens out, smooths out, fills any fine lines or wrinkles on your face, y'all, it makes you look like you're a newborn baby. No, okay, I'm going too far. It makes you look a whole lot younger. That's the way I feel about Squalane. So if you don't want the coverage booster in here, then you can go in with the translucent and just get the benefits of that Upsolite, and that's what's going to keep the oil and sweat off your face. And then you get the benefit of that Squalane, which is going to make your face look smooth. It's going to reduce any texture that you have and prepare your face to receive makeup. So this also comes with a little spatula where you can go into the product and just kind of scoop it out and put it on your face. I love the spatula in here. And typically what I like to do, I usually like to just rub this with my hands, but I'm going to use a brush today because I really don't want to get my hands dirty. And guys, like I said, you will see a lot of people using this as their foundation because of the complexion shades. But to me, as far as creating a really nice base for your makeup, I just think it works better as a primer. And as you can see, it kind of, it gives me a little bit of coverage. But if I wanted to really use this as a foundation, I would have to use a lot of this to get the coverage that a foundation would give you. And I don't want to use a lot of it because you'll go through these very, very fast. So using it as a primer, in my opinion, is the best way to use it. If you watch Danessa Myricks herself, she uses this as a primer. She also uses it as a foundation. She uses it as a bronzer. She's also used it as a setting powder. So this is a very unique product, and some people may say it's not beginner friendly because it does so much, but once you really learn how to use it and learn how to use it for yourself, you'll never go back. I have, as you can see, I'm just about out of that one. I have a new one on standby, and I use the shade 9. So, yeah. As far as a primer, this is good. Now, you can use any other primer that you want, but if you want your face to be flawless, start out with that Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. It's a game changer. All right, so I went in with just a little bit of color corrector because I have the dark circles under my eyes, and I did really include this in my 7 products or 7 steps because this may be something you don't need. But if you do have darkness or discoloration or anything that you want to cover up before you apply your concealer, then you can use color corrector. I use the NYX Fix It Stick, and I just put a little bit under my eyes, and sometimes I go on my eyelids. But if you have like darkness in the cheek area, forehead, or anywhere, sometimes a lot of people have the darkness around their mouths, so you will go in with this color corrector. But that is, just depending on you and your needs. But my next step is to go in with concealer. Now you can use concealer before or after your foundation. I don't know, lately I have been liking to use concealer before my foundation. And I typically like to use a concealer that is at least, I start out with one that is one shade lighter than my complexion, or one shade lighter than the foundation I'm using. So as you can see, this is kind of light. We're going to be going in actually using two different concealers, because while this is light, we want to add just a little bit more brightness to our complexion. And that's really what the concealer does. The concealer is to conceal and hide any imperfections, darkness, redness. Some people have redness that you may have in your face, and you want, you just want to hide those areas. And the reason why I like to bring the concealer up on my eyelids is because you want, especially when you have dark eyelids, you want everything to be uniform or continue. You want that color to be continuous. You don't want to have, concealer just under your eyes and then you have dark eyelids. So I think putting the concealer or even the foundation on your eyelids is a really good practice. So we have that blended out, and then we're going to just go in with another concealer just to add some brightness to the center of our face. I like to go in with the Danessa Myricks Lift and Flex Concealer. This is the shade 12, y'all, but I have realized that I need something a little bit lighter. So I will go maybe 1 to 2 shades lighter than this shade, just to add a little bit of brightness into the center of my face. Because also, guys, I am a photographer, and one thing we learn in photography is that, it's about light. It's about you manipulating light. And I feel like makeup is that same way. It's about you bringing light into the areas of your face where light naturally hits. Like you see this brightness on my forehead, we're going to be brightening that area as well. But I typically do that after I apply my foundation. So you can see that adds just a little bit of brightness, because too, the face is more than one color. Well, my face is more than one color before I wear makeup. But naturally, we all have, different shades and color to our face. So the center of the face usually has the light, where the outside usually has the shadows. And now for the fun part, y'all, we're going to go in with our foundation. Now today my foundation of choice is the MAC Studio Radiance Foundation. And I really do like this foundation because it really lays well over that Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. And I don't know if I said it earlier, but the Blurring Balm Powder, it goes on like a balm, but then it dries down to a powder finish. So, and when you put your favorite foundation on top of that, it is perfection. You talking about looking for a perfect foundation. You don't need a perfect foundation. You need a perfect routine. And that Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder and your favorite foundation should be a part of your routine. So what I'm going to do, I just, pumped out just a little bit. And I'm just going to pat this all over my face. And the reason why I'm applying it like this, because I said I didn't want to get anything on my hands. But like the packaging, sometimes when I try to squirt the foundation out, it goes everywhere, and I don't like that. And I'm just going to take my brush and just blend that out. And you will start to see how well this process works. Make sure to go under your chin, because I do have hair under my chin. And I have to exfoliate under there as well. So sometimes it's a little bit of darkness under there, but yeah, make sure you go under your chin. And like I said, add in light. So now we're going to take the lighter concealer and we're going to go down the center of our face. We're going to hit that light. See that little light in the center of my head? That's what we're going to add. A little bit of light on our chin. and around our mouth. I'm going to just hit this area like this, just a little bit. That's just because that's what I want to do. And this is one of the tricks. If you find yourself with a too dark foundation, you can always kind of lighten it up, you know, with your concealer. And then we're just going to blend this out. Remember, this step is to add light and brightness to the face because we don't want the face to be flat. And then to just make sure things are blended well, we just take our foundation brush and just if there's any lines where you can see where you blended, just go ahead, take your foundation brush and just go back over those areas. There's no more extra product on here, it's just the brush. I just want you to see how smooth it is. Very smooth. So our next step is cream contour. So cream contour is a step that I would not do. I felt like it was unnecessary. I felt like it was too complicated. But once I really started practicing and getting better at it, y'all, it's really not that intimidating. It's not that serious at all. But what it does to the face is very serious because this is where you start to sculpt your face. You start to sculpt your look and you start to build dimension. So we added light, so now we're going to add the shadows. And I'm using the LYS Cream Contour Stick. I also have the Juvia's Place Cream Contour, which I like as well. But this one is so nice. It's so creamy. So you're just going to put just a little bit. You see the areas of your face that's already dark? You're just going to put just a little bit right there on top of the forehead. You're going to take that jawline and just, that's it. That's it. Nothing too serious. If you like, you can go down your nose and do a little bit of contouring on the nose, which I will do. And I used to be so intimidated by this part, y'all, but it really does. This is when you talk about elevating your look. But it's really no need to be intimidated because this blends out so well. Even if you make a mistake and use too much, it just blends out. Just keep blending. And it's going to work its way into a really soft, natural application. So I'm going to take, this is a Real Techniques 401 brush. And this is typically the brush I use to blend out my contour. And you see how that's adding that little bit of darkness. Then we're going to go down the jawline. And don't worry about trying to be perfect because we're going to fix all of this. And I'm blending up toward my cheeks. You want to, get the edges here. And you want to blend this into your hairline. This is how I learned to do it, and it really is what works best. And then you're going to take that and you're going to go down here. On the jawline, you're going to go down under the neck. You're going to bring it down. Just bring it down. Now they say this is how you get rid of that double chin. I don't know, but I do it in a way because I do have a double chin. So now that we have that on, what I like to do, we're going to take our foundation brush with no other product on it, and we're just going to carve out the cheekbones. just clean up any areas. Now I do have prominent cheekbones, but and I do try to really make sure I have my cheeks looking very neat. That's one of the things I like to do. We're also going to take that and go back over the forehead. And you can take just a little bit of your concealer and carve out those cheekbones. You know, these steps are really up to you. But we are still creating a flawless base. So guys, if you watched the video this far, I hope you would go ahead and give the video a like. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and think about, well, don't think about it. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, especially if you want more makeup tutorials. I'm going to be doing some makeup reviews on some new products and just overall makeup chit chat. So let me know what you think. But right now, y'all, I think my face looks beautiful. Okay guys, so I went ahead and finished my eyes off camera just because the eyeshadow is really not a part of the tutorial. If you want to see how I came up with this eye look, I did use my Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3 eyeshadow palette, and this is just a warm look. Nothing serious. I used about 3 different eyeshadows and that's it. Because I wanted to just keep the look very natural today. So we have not set our makeup. So this is the part that I really like. So we're going to go in with powders. You do need a setting powder. I recommend a translucent setting powder and I recommend a pressed powder. My translucent setting powder of choice is the Sephora Collection translucent setting powder. And as you can see, my concealer has not creased. It has not moved the whole time we've been sitting here. And that's why I love those products. But this powder is so good because it's a translucent powder, so it doesn't change the look of your makeup. It just sets your makeup. And right now I'm just putting this where I applied concealer. And I'm going to make sure I go under my chin. I'm actually going to set my entire face with this powder because this powder, it is just so good. It just melts into the skin and leaves a flawless, natural look. And that's one thing about the setting powder. You don't have to really be precise with it. Just kind of get you a nice fluffy brush and just take it all over the face. And if you don't set up under your chin where you put that product, this is where you get makeup all over your clothes. This is where if you are hugging someone, you go in for the hug and you got makeup under there, it will rub off if it's not set properly. So definitely set your makeup. All right, so that's just a translucent. That's just a sheer coat of powder to set everything down. Now I'm going to go on top of this with the complexion powder. That's still going to set the makeup even more, but it's going to give just a little bit of coverage and a little bit of color. And for this step, I like to use my Kosas Cloud Set setting powder. This is in the shade Silky, and this is a talc-free pressed powder. You see how close that is to my complexion? I love this powder, y'all. And we're just going to go all over the face. This is going to add to that smoothness. So now that is my basic two-step setting powder routine. I do have a third powder that I do like to use, and we're going to use it today. So this is still the Kosas Cloud Baked Setting Powder, Cloud Set Setting Powder, but this one is in the shade Peachy. They recently came out with these brightening shades. So again, like I was talking about that brightness, having that brightness under the eye, you can use one of these brightening shades or any brightening shade and just add a little bit of brightness under the eye and to the center of your face. And don't worry, I know it looks crazy, but now if I let this sit, I guess that would be called baking, but we're not baking. We're just adding a little bit of light to the face. So what I do now, I don't even let it sit that long. I just take my powder brush. I don't have any other product on here. And I just sweep the powder away. So it leaves just a little trace of brightness behind. All right, so the next step that I feel like you need to have a flawless base, I feel like you need to go in with a powder bronzer, y'all. So this goes back into that contour. Oh, I love adding bronzer to the face, and I typically like to use my One Size Bronze Trio. It has a contour shade, and then it has these two bronzing shades. And I typically just run my brush like this, and then we just, same areas we put that contour, we're gonna kind of go a little bit above that with the bronzer. Again, this is just adding a little bit of dimension and interest to the face. I put bronzer under my chin as well. I take this concealer brush and I go in to the bronzer and just add just a little bit. Then I take that powder brush again. I just kind of go back over everything just to make sure everything is smooth and blended out properly. It's really just all about the blending. So there, we have a little bit of warmth to the face. Everything looks really, really good. So this is the part right here that I feel the most excited about. Yeah, I am most excited about the blush. I feel like blush should be a part of your base. A lot of people may feel differently. Maybe they feel like it doesn't matter because you can go in and use cream and liquid blushes, which I do like those as well. But I love a good matte powder blush. And these One Size blushes from, these One Size cheek clapper blushes from One Size has been one of my favorites. So I'm just going to go into the matte shade here and just start applying this. And I try to keep my application up high, like toward my eye instead of down on the apples of my cheek. I like to just stay in this area right here. Just a little bit, and it just adds so much. I don't know, it makes your face come alive. I just love it. When I see blush, I get happy. All right, guys, so we're going to go in now with the setting spray so we can set everything, set it down. We're going to melt all these powders together, make sure everybody gets to know each other. And I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It is my setting spray of choice. It gives a 16-hour set to the face. It leaves a glowy, kind of a natural glowy type of finish, but it makes your makeup look so good. So you have to finish with this, because right now, while my face looks really nice, it still looks kind of powdery. And I don't want it to look powdery. I want my face to look juicy and natural. So we're going to spray the face down. And I'm going to put my mascara on after I use the setting spray, because I found out if you put your mascara on before your setting spray and it's not a waterproof mascara, it's going to melt. It's going to mess up your eye look, and it's going to, you know, make the mascara run. So, yeah. Setting spray is so important, and there's so many out there. So many good setting sprays out there. But I do prefer the Charlotte Tilbury to set my makeup. And I think it looks good. So let me get the mascara on. Let me get some lipstick on, and then we'll close out the video. And yeah. Okay, guys. So I added my mascara. I added some lipstick. And one final step that I like to put into my routine before I walk out the door is to add a finishing powder. And y'all know, if anybody's been watching my channel, you know I love the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. This is the Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 3. And it has a highlighter, a bronzing powder, and then a face powder. So finishing powders are just to kind of, it's that last step to blur out any imperfections, blur out any pores. It softens your look, and it kind of just perfects everything. I like to just dust my face with these powders at the end of my makeup. Again, I like to just add that little bit of light. I'm using the highlighter in here, and I'm just kind of adding that light in the center of my face. And I'll take you can take the face powder here, you can go under your eyes. So the Hourglass line is a perfect, I feel like their powders are perfect for mature skin. So if you're a lady over 40, 50, 60 and beyond, I feel like the Hourglass powders should be a part of your makeup collection, because what they do to the skin, to my skin, y'all, my face just looks so pretty. It looks so pretty. And this is where I just top off everything. Let me know down below at this point, guys, what do you think? What do you think? I love the way my cheekbones look with the blush and the bronzer and contour kind of all melted in together. It just looks so pretty and so nice and so elevated. So, all right, guys, so that's it for this tutorial. These are my 7 steps for beginners in makeup. 7 or so. I mean, there are some others in there that I added, but 7 steps to a flawless, natural face if you're just starting out with makeup, or you want to kind of elevate your makeup routine. I think these are good steps. I feel like my face looks really good, and yeah. So again, guys, let me know down below what you think about this look, what you think about the steps. You know, are you going to incorporate some of these steps into your routine, or do you already do this? You already got it down. You got your base down. You already know what time it is. Let me know down below in the comments. All right, guys, so that's it. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and enjoy my day. Again, Happy New Year. Happy 2025 to you guys. I wish everyone a happy and prosperous New Year. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for the next video. Bye.